to economic dominance is a remarkable story. It is a story of resilience, transformation, and ambition. To understand this journey, we must first look back at the century of humiliation. From the Opium Wars to the Second World War, China faced foreign encroachment and internal strife. The once mighty Middle Kingdom was weakened and exploited. This period left a deep scar on the Chinese psyche, fueling a desire for national rejuvenation. The Opium Wars, waged by Britain to force China to open its markets to opium, exposed the Qing dynasty's vulnerability. China was forced to cede Hong Kong and grant concessions to foreign powers. Internal rebellions further weakened the Qing dynasty, which ultimately collapsed in 1911. The following decades saw China embroiled in civil war and occupied by Japan during the Second World War. This tumultuous period left China impoverished and desperate for stability and strength. The Chinese people yearned for a strong leader who could restore their nation to its former glory. This desire for a strong leader paved the way for the rise of Mao Zedong and the Chinese Communist Party. The CCP promised to end China's humiliation and create a new socialist society. In 1949, after a long and bloody civil war, Mao declared the establishment of the People's Republic of China. Mao Zedong's rise to power marked a turning point in Chinese history. Inspired by Marxist-Leninist ideology, Mao sought to transform China from an agrarian society into a socialist utopia. He launched ambitious programs like the Great Leap Forward, aiming to rapidly industrialize the nation and collectivize agriculture. However, these programs had disastrous consequences. The Great Leap Forward, launched in 1958, aimed to surpass the West in industrial and agricultural production. Millions of peasants were mobilized to work in communes, producing steel in backyard furnaces. This forced collectivization and unrealistic production targets led to widespread famine and economic devastation. Tens of millions of people perished in one of the deadliest famines in human history. Despite the failures of the Great Leap Forward, Mao remained determined to reshape Chinese society. In 1966, he launched the Cultural Revolution, a decade of political and social upheaval. Mao aimed to purge the country of capitalist and traditional elements. Schools were closed, intellectuals were persecuted, and ancient cultural artifacts were destroyed. The Cultural Revolution plunged China into chaos and left a lasting impact on its social fabric. After Mao's death in 1976, China embarked on a new era under the leadership of Deng Xiaoping. Deng, a pragmatist who had experienced the excesses of the Cultural Revolution, recognized the need for drastic change. He initiated a series of economic reforms that would transform China into an economic powerhouse. Deng's reforms were based on the principle of socialism with Chinese characteristics. He shifted China away from Mao's rigid ideology and embraced market-oriented policies. One of his most significant reforms was the introduction of the household responsibility system in agriculture. This system dismantled the communes and allowed farmers to lease land and sell their surplus produce in the open market, boosting agricultural productivity. Deng also opened up China to foreign investment and trade. He established special economic zones, or SEZs, along the coast, offering tax breaks and other incentives to attract foreign companies. These SEZs, such as Shenzhen and Xiamen, became engines of economic growth, attracting investment, technology, and jobs. Deng Xiaoping's reforms unleashed an unprecedented period of economic growth in China. Millions were lifted out of poverty, and China emerged as a global economic power. However, this remarkable transformation has come with its own set of challenges. One of the most pressing challenges is environmental degradation. China's rapid industrialization has taken a toll on its air, water, and soil. The country faces severe air pollution, water scarcity, and deforestation. Addressing these environmental problems is crucial for China's sustainable development. Another challenge is political reform. China's economic liberalization has not been accompanied by corresponding political reforms. The Chinese Communist Party maintains a tight grip on power, and freedom of speech, assembly, and the press remain restricted. The government's suppression of dissent and human rights abuses have drawn international criticism.